streaming on clickorlando.com, you're watching News 6 at 10 p.m.
Orange County fooled around, and now they're about to find out.
Now on News 6, the head of Florida DOJ is handing out subpoenas accusing Orange County of covering up spending on diversity, equity, and inclusion. His warning to other governments, big and small, as Orange County pushes back. And News 6 presses the governor to weigh in on the rainbow crosswalk at Pulse, now painted over, what he says really matters at that solemn site. Tragically, the nation is coming to grips with another deadly mass shooting. Children are among those killed at a Catholic church and its school. The message that has investigators calling this a hate crime. At noon at 11, federal agents raid a mega ministry in Marion County, Michigan, Tampa, and Texas. Bizarre claims of forced labor, punishing people who raised millions in donations for luxury homes, cars, and more.
I remember the first thing that I did when I found out the news was text Margie and say, Margie, I love you. And when I saw the message to deliver, I was like, damn, this is real.
His family struggles to come to grips with the death of his younger sister, one of two teens killed in a fiery crash. But we have to start now at 10 o'clock tonight with Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings and his team in the crosshairs of Governor Ron DeSantis and his Florida DOJ audit teams. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Matt Austin. Ginger has the evening off. Demings is denying some explosive claims. At a news conference late today in Orange County, the governor and his recently appointed chief financial officer, Blaise Ingoglia, announced they have subpoenas accusing someone in Orange County of covering up spending on government grants. Community correspondent Troy Campbell questioned the governor, then pressed Ingoglia one-on-one for specifics.
Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings is denying allegations that staff at the county administration building wasn't forthcoming, giving information and documents to Florida's DOJ team. We spoke to Florida's chief financial officer, who says he thinks documents are being hidden.
Oh, please be seated. Thanks so much. Thank you.
It took more than 20 minutes into their news conference for the governor and Blaise Ingoglia to reveal why they came to Orange County, announcing the state's DOJ team has issued investigative subpoenas, claiming Orange County is not fully cooperating with their audit after a visit earlier this month. I first asked Governor Ron DeSantis to respond to what Mayor Demings has been saying for weeks.
Governor, what is your message to Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings, who says there's no reason for an audit because they have an independently elected auditor in Phil Diamond?
Well, the CFO would not have issued the subpoenas if all the questions were answered.
To dig down into the specific claims, I spoke one-on-one with Ingoglia. When the mayor defends that they have a comptroller, he's independently elected, and he's doing audits, you say your audit takes it one step further.
Yeah, so when the mayor says that we have audits and the audits are coming back clean, they are just checking to make sure that contracts are paid out in accordance to law and make sure they're paid out in accordance to the provisions of the contract.
Ingoglia says Orange County staff might have been instructed to hide documents related to 5 diversity, equity, and inclusion related grants. And this started with a tip from a county employee, so you guys looked into it.
Yeah, we did. We got a tip from a county employee, and we get tips all the time. Just because we get a tip, we don't necessarily mean if it's accurate or not. But we started investigating, we started pulling some of the data, and we realized that there was a hole in the information that we were requesting.
Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings says that is simply not the case, issuing a statement saying, Orange County government fully cooperated with the Florida DOJ audit team, providing all the data and documents requested. No employee was instructed to alter, change, or delete any documents. The state has offered no evidence to support its allegation that we are hiding information or acting without integrity. What's your message to the taxpayers of Orange County, the homeowners who are paying their property taxes every year and they've seen their taxes go up?
That you have a fiscal pit bull watchdog in me as the CFO of the state of Florida, and I'm going to look out for their money.
And again, Mayor Demings denies all of the allegations and says there's simply no proof. Ingoglia says there could be more subpoenas as their investigation continues. I'm your Orlando community correspondent, Troy Campbell, News 6.
News 6 also pressed the governor to weigh in on the now week-long battle over colorful crosswalks, especially since he called that news conference just 2.5 miles from the Pulse nightclub, where protesters armed with colored chalk have been going back and forth with state road crews all week. News 6 was the first to show you those DOT crews were caught on surveillance video from a city-owned security camera atop the Pulse building. It was 1 week ago tonight the Rainbow Crosswalk was first painted over without notice. The governor told community correspondent Laverne McGee crosswalks should be about safety, not messages, no matter the message.
So the legislature passed a change in law recently which said there's no street art allowed. And the Department of Transportation put out guidance recently, a couple months ago, reminding everybody. And this has been addressed statewide, not just on any issue under the sun. Blue Lives Matter this. They're doing it uniformly throughout the state. I think the street art got out of hand. I think it's much better that we use crosswalks and streets for their intended purpose. And I would say on this, who approved millions of dollars for a memorial? I've approved millions of dollars for a memorial. Not painting the road, actually doing a fitting memorial.
And just this morning, a Volusia County landmark became the latest colorful crosswalk to turn back to black and white. Overnight, state crews repainted the checkered flag crosswalks outside Daytona International Speedway. City leaders in Daytona Beach tell News 6 they only learned of the overnight work after it was already done. Some race fans are disappointed.
Thing is, it fits the area well. The racetrack's here. It's good. I drive by this road every day, 3 or 4 times a day for work. It never distracted me, but I think the checker flag looks good in the road with the racetrack right here.
We did reach out to the state about why the repainting was done now and whether more local crosswalks will be impacted. So far, the agency has not responded. New at 10 tonight, 2 self-professed religious leaders are facing charges tonight amid raids that stretch across the nation and right here in Marion County. Federal investigators are calling it a takedown of a forced labor organization they say treated people cruelly in the name of raising millions in donations for high-priced houses and a luxury lifestyle. To that end, agents carried out simultaneous raids today on the Kingdom Global Church properties from its headquarters near Detroit, Michigan, located in Houston, Texas, and a call center based out of what appears to be a mansion in Marion County. There was also a raid in an exclusive part of Tampa today, and one of those religious leaders was arrested in North Carolina. So the feds claim David Taylor and Michelle Brannon operated several call centers, including one in that big home on Southwest 38th Street in the Ocala area. According to the indictment, the pair made victims work the call centers long hours without pay. If workers disobeyed an order or failed to reach a monetary goal, they say Brannon punished those workers with public humiliation, taking away food and sleep and more. Both are facing forced labor and money laundering charges.
If there's anything I want her to know, it's how beautiful she was.
New tonight at 10, a local family still mourning the loss of a 15-year-old Margie Whitman. She was one of 2 teens killed in a fiery Oviedo crash last week. While there are questions about that crash that may never be answered, they wanted to share the story of a girl they called Margie with News 6 reporter Jarrell Baker.
All I want to do is hear my voice again, because the videos don't do her justice, and I listen to her sing in the bathroom in the shower, and I'm never going to enjoy that.
Hayes Whitman and his family are still struggling to come to terms with losing his little sister, Margie Whitman. She was one of 2 teens killed last week after their car hit a tree and caught fire in Oviedo near Alafaya Woods Boulevard.
I remember the first thing that I did when I found out the news was text Margie and say, Margie, I love you. And when I saw the message to deliver, I was like, damn, this is real.
The fun-loving high school cheerleader was named after her mother, Marjorie. Mom says now she feels a piece of herself is gone.
She was like the one that was always, making us laugh, and she was funny, and she had such a fun personality that we will definitely miss.
The family says that Margie and the other victim, 17-year-old Kayla Ross, were as close as sisters.
Do you know where she and Kayla would go?
No idea. And I have no idea. That no report has come out yet.
And even though they don't have the answers yet, they're thankful the community held a vigil and laid flowers near the crash site for their teens.
I think for me, it's very important because it shows that she was loved And it shows that even though she's not here, she continues to make an impact.
Many have also donated to Margie's GoFundMe, raising money for school supplies and gifts for kids in Guatemala, which she was planning to do for her 16th birthday in October.
She was always a giving person, so for her it was more important than talking about her own body.
The family plans to create an annual scholarship for young athletes in Margie's honor. In Oviedo, Jarrell Baker, News 6.
Well, tonight, News 6 has the body cam video and the arrest report from when Winter Springs police say a 20-year-old drunkenly fired a gun near 3 of their officers overnight. The department says those officers were just eating dinner outside their patrol cars in the parking lot of a church when they heard several shots being fired. Our Seminole County community correspondent, Catherine Silver, is the first to show you video of the moment police made an arrest.
We're on the other side of those woods there, man. Ooh. Yeah, you trying to shoot at us?
When Winter Springs police caught up to Devin Williams, they say it was less than a minute since he started firing shots.
He said he was firing it to get your attention.
Well, you got it.
Radio recordings show the communication as it unfolded after midnight near 434 and 419, and then the aftermath once Williams was in custody.
Where'd you shoot your gun? He said he's a little drunk. Hey, genius, look at me. Where'd you shoot your gun?
Officers say they heard 5 shots as they were outside their patrol cars eating dinner.
Heard 4 shots. We started to get in the car. On the 5th one, there was a whiz right behind our cars.
They believe Williams was firing towards them.
We were at the bus bar and we definitely heard it.
Yeah, no, he's shooting this way.
Towards you guys?
Yeah.
But at a first appearance hearing Wednesday afternoon, a judge did not find probable cause for 3 charges of aggravated assault.
I do see, though, that the law enforcement officer did indicate that they were in fear as a result of the shot.
Williams is still being held in jail on other charges, including firing a weapon while under the influence.
What were you shooting at? I didn't shoot at anybody.
Hey, man.
Police say he denied the allegations at first, but later admitted he wanted to get the officers' attention. An arrest report for Williams also says the officers found 2 guns, one in his pants and another in a backpack, along with a flashlight, various tools, and an empty bottle of port wine.
I don't do nothing.
Police believe Williams was going to use those tools to break into various properties. They also discovered that second firearm we told you about was reported stolen from a vehicle burglary in Orlando earlier this summer. In Seminole County, I'm Catherine Silver, News 6.
Well, it's not every day a tip from viewers ends with people sentenced to years in prison. Ahead at 6, how our investigation and those viewer tips got results and helped dismantle a tax prep scam operation.
My friend Victor saved me though, because he laid on top of me, but he got hit.
A young survivor speaking about how a classmate wounded in a deadly mass shooting at a Catholic church and its school took place, why leaders in Minnesota think this was a hate crime.
And I'm tracking a few thunderstorms beginning to pop up on our radar scan. Now rain chances go up as you wrap up the work week and even higher heading into the weekend. Of course, I'll have the full breakdown coming up in a bit.
You're watching News 6 at 10, live on a Wednesday night. We're covering the Milk District, Mineola, and all of Central Florida. Developing tonight in Minnesota, at least 2 kids continue to fight for their lives. Here's a video just into our newsroom from a vigil for the victims of that mass shooting that's being considered a hate crime now. They were offering up prayers for those killed and wounded at a Catholic church and at school in Minneapolis. Police say the shooter walked up to the side of Annunciation Catholic Church, shot through the windows toward children sitting in the pews during morning mass. 17 more people were hurt. 14 of them were kids who attended the church's pre-K through 8 school. 10-year-old Weston Halsney was seated near the stained glass windows when the shots were fired.
My friend Victor saved me though, because he laid on top of me, but he got hit.
So the 14 wounded children and 3 adults are expected to survive. The 23-year-old shooter took his own life. Police say he left 2 video messages, including one that said, "Where is your God now?" He had no criminal history and no apparent link to that church. Well, every now and then our News 6 investigations will lead to folks going to prison, and that is what happened today. So a tip from viewers led us to dig into a tax scheme that cost taxpayers more than $12 million. News 6's Mike DeForest has led this investigation for years and was at the federal courthouse in Orlando today, where those 2 men were sentenced.
The owners of a Central Florida tax preparation business are headed to federal prison as a result of my News 6 investigation. Take a look at this video of Franklin Carter arriving at the federal courthouse in downtown Orlando. Just a few years ago, prosecutors say he was driving a $6,000 a month leased Lamborghini. Now he's beginning a 7-year prison sentence. Federal prosecutors say Carter and 2 other men, Emmanuel Almanor and Jonathan Carrillo, ran a tax preparation business called Neighborhood Advance Tax, located in strip malls throughout Central Florida. A few years ago, News 6 began hearing complaints about the business, which promised customers the biggest tax refund possible. Those customers who paid big bucks to the company usually would receive big tax refunds, but later the IRS audited those customers and forced them to pay back the money. That's because prosecutors say employees of the company falsified customers' tax returns by including inflated deductions and charitable contributions. Just days after News 6 began reporting on the business, the IRS launched a criminal investigation. The owners later pleaded guilty to defrauding the U.S. government. Emmanuel Almanor, seen on the left, has been sentenced to nearly 5 years in prison. Jonathan Carrillo, in the middle, will go to prison for 12 years, and Franklin Carter will serve 7 years. Besides these owners, 5 employees of the company have also pleaded guilty to federal charges. Prosecutors say this scheme cost the U.S. government, in other words, taxpayers like you and me, more than $12 million. As part of their sentences, those defendants have been ordered to repay that money. Mike DeForest, News 6.
All right, Mike, thank you. Now let's get to meteorologist Michelle Morgan, still tracking some things on the radar late into the night.
Yeah, just a few isolated thunderstorms here, Matt. Really over Marion County tonight, heavy rain and also a ton of lightning. Now, there was a special weather statement issued for this particular storm. It has expired, but it's still dropping a whole lot of rain in this area. So this is east of Ocala over parts of Bellevue. There is an aerial flood advisory in effect, meaning this thunderstorm has dropped about 1 to 2 inches of rainfall. A little bit more is possible. So in those low-lying, poorly drained spots, we could see a little bit of minor flooding. So if you live in those areas, just be aware of that. Looking at heavy rain over Candler, also staying south of Bruceville, and Electra, you're seeing light to moderate rain at the moment. Now, taking a look at the hail tracker, according to this, we're looking at some small hail possible with this particular storm, but thankfully within the hour, most of the storm activity should dissipate. For the rest of Central Florida, nice and dry, a quiet night under partly cloudy skies, and also it is a bit breezy along our coastline. We're still dealing with easterly winds at the moment, and here's why. As we take a look at the satellite imagery, tracking a few clouds here along this stationary front, and because of that frontal boundary coupled with that east coast sea breeze, that's why we're seeing a little bit of energy, a few of those thunderstorms popping still up to tonight at 10:19. Now, taking you outside, downtown Orlando looking very quiet. This is from our Light Orlando Orlando, delivering hope camera. Today we saw a daytime high of 94 degrees and no rain across the metro area. Honestly, a nice break from the heavy rain that we've been getting for the past couple of days or so. So here's a look at your planner for tomorrow. Heading out to work, getting the kids ready for school. We're looking at a dry start to our morning. We're at 77 degrees around 8. Abundant sunshine with a few high-level clouds. Getting closer to a 40% chance for rain. Temperatures in the upper 80s there, and then we're looking at a 50% coverage for scattered rain as we wrap up the afternoon, lasting into tomorrow night. Now forecast highs, a high of 93 in Orlando, 89 in Palm Coast, 91 in Ocala, heading to Brevard County, a high of 89 in Cocoa Beach, Melbourne, as well as Mico with a high of 90. So your clouds and rain forecast, keeping things dry as I take you through the morning with a few clouds here and there. As we get the daytime heating coupled with the sea breezes, we'll see scattered rain, a few embedded thunderstorms producing heavy rain at times. Look at this, stopping the clock at 7. Heavy rain certainly possible along the I-4 corridor. Could get gusty winds up to 40-50 miles per hour. And then most of the shower and storm activity now shifting off to the east along I-95 and then looking at a dry overnight. Taking a look at the mid-level moisture heading into the weekend, air of low pressure with a warm and cold front will be heading our way. That's going to increase the tropical moisture across central Florida, really raising those rain chances Saturday into Sunday. It's not going to be a complete washout, but I will certainly keep the rain gear nearby just in case if you're doing anything outdoors. A good downpour is certainly possible as well. So as to take a look at your 7-day, 93 tomorrow with a 50% coverage for rain. Heading into Friday, a 60% coverage with a high of 92. Because of the rain, cloud cover Saturday into Sunday with a 60 to 70% coverage. That's going to keep our daytime highs below average in the upper 80s.
All right, Michelle, thank you. Part of Central Florida's Atlantic coast is getting a big facelift. Next at 10, we're looking at how this major renourishment project will help protect neighbors.
I'm Molly Reed, your Flagler County community correspondent. The fragile coastline here is getting another major facelift. You can see the dunes here at Malacompra Park are more like a tiny hill now after Hurricane Milton hit them last year. Now, from here up to Marineland, these dunes will be reinforced to be about 14 feet tall and a lot wider.
2 to 3 foot surge that was caused by the hurricane didn't really impact the southern end of the county much at all, but in the northern part of the county it did erode most of the dune that's there.
Hurricane Milton in 2024 left northern Flagler County nearly bare from a small storm surge. The county's coastal engineering team, wanting to reinforce before another storm hits, has been waiting since Milton for FEMA funding.
There was a long time where even the folks at FEMA that usually give me all the answers, where my project is, what's going on. They couldn't tell me anything. And
today, Congressman Randy Fine announcing he was able to get the $9 million needed pushed through.
And what I was told by Andy and the other folks from Flagler County is we have $9 million that's waiting, that's approved, that's in the budget, that we've already gotten for the beaches, but we can't get a signature out of Washington.
Now with the signature, the county can get the work started ASAP. The project carrying northward the work already being done in the southern part of the county to reinforce Flagler County's dune system. A contractor is already on site restoring the dunes just south of this area. They'll pay them to continue north.
a robust enough dune system to get us through, a Category 1 or 2 hurricane.
Now, I asked what if a stronger storm hits. The county says FEMA will provide more funding in the future if they have to keep restoring the dunes. This work will start on November 1st. I'm your Flagler County community correspondent Molly Reed, News 6.
$850 million is up for grabs. Powerball drawing is on News 6 at 11. You can find all of tonight's stories and breaking news on News 6 Plus.